The Driver of Serpents by Jay Requard is a book that I just finished not long after I interviewed him for my YouTube channel and podcast. And this book is 100% right up my alley. I love religious fiction, and the concept of a reincarnated St. Patrick and a reincarnated St. George in 21st century New York City having to deal with a Nephilim. Like, take my money, please. Now, there was no guarantee that it was going to be well written or well executed or interesting or any of that. But as it turns out, it was all of the above. Jay is a talented author. He is a long-time author, and I am eager to check out the rest of the series. But basically, what we have here in St. Patrick is an interesting, complicated, tortured in some ways, broken in some ways human being who reminds me a little bit of John Constantine, and reminds me a little bit of Harry Dresden, although he is not either of those characters. There are facets of those characters that I find here in our Father Patrick, who is a Catholic priest in the modern Roman Catholic Church, an exorcist specifically, and he's called out to do an exorcism, and he finds out that there's something strange going on, and comes to find out that it's a Nephilim. Now, this isn't giving anything away. It's going to take from the enjoyment of the story. I won't go any further into the plot, except to say that it moves right along, and it involves a voodoo priestess and lots of weed, as it turns out, which when I asked Jay about that, he simply said, that's New York City right now. So I'll take his word for that. So if you want to check out a new author, if you want to check out a what I would call a piece of urban fantasy with a focus on Christian mythology, then I highly recommend The Driver of Serpents. There is a plentitude of action and magic of a sort, and certainly all kinds of supernatural goings on, and in a book that I would describe as cinematic. I would love to see this as a movie, or, I guess it might be a bit cliched now, but as a Netflix series. So Netflix, if you're listening to any of my videos, first of all, please, option my books, certainly, but certainly option Jay's books as well. There's a lot here to love, and nothing here not to love, in my opinion. Now, I will say this is not a Christian book in the sense of you're not going to find this published by or in any Christian kind of bookstore. Jay himself has a degree in biblical studies, but I do not believe he self-identifies as a Christian. But at the same time, it is not heretical, I guess I would say. It is not poking fun or satire of Christianity. Certainly it does take aim at a certain segment of evangelical Christianity, but that's not without its merits. It is, I find, very, in a way, honest about the role of the church historically. and at the same time, very real about spiritual matters. So, yeah, I highly recommend this to anybody who is looking for this kind of book, this kind of fiction, and who is not going to be easily offended by some F-bombs and some behind closed doors sex and drug use and violence, certainly. But I don't think anybody that's watching my videos is going to be offended by any of those things. It's very, very interesting book. Very well written. I give this big 5 stars and highly recommend that you check it out. Jay is in the process of transitioning some of his books from from traditional to indie. This book is itself published by Falstaff Books, which is a small press, and Falstaff puts out a lot of great books. Jay is sort of a hybrid author, and but yeah, I highly recommend that you check it out. And for just $2.99, it's a steal. I may actually see if I can buy a paperback copy signed by Jay, because that's how much I enjoyed it. So 5 stars. Go get it.